Borchard back in our Division Street studios, keeping us on the air today. All right, let's look at the starting lineups one more time. For the Pointers, it's Panich, Rice, Kilpatrick, Carissa Smith, and Ernst for fourth-year head coach Matt Hoggett, who is 47 and 33 overall. He's 32 and 4 in the non-conference. He's assisted by Bruce Williams and Leah Ernest, as she takes over for Coach Parsons, who decided to take the head coaching job in Superior, and we'll see her on the 13th. All right, for Principia, it's Brown, Terrell, Williams, Myers, and Trinity Matthews for sixth-year head coach Ramiro Dominguez, who's 48 and 56 overall. He is assisted by Elena Hinson, Greg Brown, and Carolina Rojas. Pointers are going to be in their home uniforms today, white jerseys with white shorts. They have purple numerals, purple lettering with gold trim. For Principia, they are in their black jerseys today with black shorts, gold numerals, gold lettering with white trim. And it's going to be Ernst to jump center against Ariana Williams. Pointers going left to right here in the first half. Packers won earlier today, 23-6, and right now the Lions are down 27-24. They have the ball with a minute 12 left to go, and that's the Packers' next opponent on Thanksgiving Day. It's the Lions at noon. All right, we're just about ready to get this one underway. Ball is in the air, and the Pointers control the opening tip as Panich will bring it up for the Pointers. Panich over to Rice on the right side. Rice, couple dribbles. Over to Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick back to Rice. Down low to Ernst, right side, gets bumped, up in and a foul. First points of the afternoon go to Jesselyn Ernst. And the Principia fouls coming up on Ariana Williams, her first. That is the team's first here in the first quarter. Ernst, a 57% foul shooter on the year, as that free throw is too strong. And Principia with the rebound. Here's Terrell with it for the Panthers. Gets it over to Ariana Williams. Now to Myers. Myers into the hands of Brown. Brown with it, loses the ball. Kilpatrick up with it. Kilpatrick on a breakaway. Kilpatrick will lay it up right side, too strong. Pointers keep the rebound, though. Here's Kilpatrick with it, driving baseline left. Reverse shot, no. Ernst tips the ball, goes out of bounds, and it will go back to Principia. All right, Terrell will bring it up here for Principia as they go right to left here in the first half as she's over the timeline. Gets it over to Brown, left side. Brown has Kilpatrick on her, into the hands of Myers. Out to Terrell. Terrell with it out near midcourt. Terrell swings it over on the left to Brown. They get into the hands of Myers, left side. Myers back to Williams. Williams with it, left of the circle. 8 left to go on the shot clock. Left corner, 3 on the way. Brown has that one is off the rim and no. And the Pointers up with a rebound. Here's Panich with it for the Pointers, who lead 2-0. 8:45 left to go here in the first quarter. Rice with it left side. Rice back to Carissa Smith out high on the left. Over to Panich, right of the circle. Panich with it. Into Kilpatrick, right wing. Kilpatrick, 10 left to go on the shot clock. Smith with it, left side 3 off the rim. And Kilpatrick down with the rebound for the Pointers, and she runs into a Principia player. That's going to be Ariana Williams, who's going to pick up the foul. Her second. Checking into the ball game for Principia is 5'5" junior guard Genesis Santiago. She's out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and went to Mater Academy. All right, Pointers to inbound. They get into Smith. Baseline jumper, left side, knocks it down. 4-0 Pointers lead at 8:18 left to go here in the first quarter. Terrell with it, left side. Has Panich on her. Bounce pass over to Trinity Matthews. Trinity Matthews with it. Hits it over to Santiago. Santiago, left corner. Now back to Trinity Matthews. They get it left corner. Terrell, 3 on the way. Short. And down with the rebound comes Maya Rice for the Pointers. 4-0 Pointers lead at 7:52. Let's go opening quarter. Here's Panich with it. Panich gets it over right side to Rice. Down low to Ernst. Right side shot block. Gets it back. She's doubled down there and tie ball. And alternating possession to give it back to the Panthers. Skyward Incorporated, connecting parents and education. That's Skyward Incorporated. All right, here come the Panthers with the basketball. Here's Terrell with it. Into the hands of Matthews. Here's a three on the way, right of the circle, way off the mark from Myers, and the Pointers up with the rebound. As Panich will bring it up for the Pointers. Over to Smith. And the Pointers turn it over. Here's Santiago with it. Santiago fading away right of the lane. Misses everything. Panich down with the rebound for the Pointers. She pushes it into the front court. Panich over to Carissa Smith. Now to Kilpatrick, left corner. Kilpatrick with it. Driving baseline left. Kilpatrick on the drive. Draws a foul. And it'll come up on Taylor Brown, her first. Checking in for the Pointers for the first time this afternoon is 5'11" junior guard forward out of Herbster, Wisconsin, Lily Truchon, who played her ball at South Shore. Maya Rice to inbound baseline left underneath her own basket. Rice gets it into Smith. Smith back to Rice in the left corner. Lob pass for Truchon as it got tipped and Truchon loses it. The Panthers up with it. Here's Santiago with it. Santiago over to Myers. Out of the hands of Trinity Matthews. Here's a three on the way, right of the circle. In and out from Taylor Brown. Pointers up with the rebound. 4-0 Pointers lead at 6:28. Let's go opening quarter. As Kilpatrick dribbles it off her foot. And to Genesis Santiago. Then we got a foul coming up on Stevens Point. As Principia is bringing it up. Her first, team's first in the quarter. Checking in for the Pointers will be 5'10" junior forward out of Duluth, Minnesota. She went to Duluth East. It's Rachel Hagan for the Pointers. Checking in 5'4" junior guard out of St. Louis, Missouri. Went to Cardinal Ritter College Prep, Alyssa White. Panthers will inbound it right in front of us. And then Santiago gets it into Terrell. Here's Terrell with it. Three on the way by Trinity Matthews. It's an air ball out of bounds and back to the Pointers. Cost Cutters not only making you look fabulous, but now they look fabulous too at the new location at 492 Division Street, right next to WPCN. All right, Rice with it for the Pointers to Panich. Over to Carissa Smith, left of the circle. Smith to Panich. Panich back to Smith on the left side. Now to Rice, free throw line jumper from her. She hits it. Maya Rice pick it up right where she left off last year. 6-0 Pointers lead at 5:45 left to go here in the opening quarter. Here's Terrell with it for the Panthers. Terrell with it. Terrell on the dribble. Terrell picks up her dribble into the hands of Myers. Right side to Santiago on the perimeter. Santiago at the foul line. Stops there. Puts up a off-balance shot. Air ball. Truchon down with the rebound for the Pointers, who lead at 6-0, 5:25 left to go opening quarter. Here's Panich with it. Over to Smith. Now to Rice left side. Rice drives, pulls up on the baseline, and hits that one. 4 for her. It's 8-0 Pointers lead at 5:12 left to go opening quarter. Terrell with it as Principia is still looking for their first bucket of the game. Foul comes up on Laney Panich. That'll be the team's second here in the quarter. 5'8" junior guard Ava Loftus out of Stoughton, Wisconsin. And a transfer from Minnesota State. Moorhead checks in there for the Pointers. Taylor Brown back in there for Principia. Here's Santiago with it. Santiago gets over to Myers. Myers with it right of the lane. Has Smith all over her. Back to Santiago. 10 left to go on the shot clock. Brown puts up the shot. It's blocked. Back to Principia. We're going to get a media timeout here with 4:53 left to go in the opening quarter. 8-0 Pointers. We'll be back in 60 seconds as you're listening to UWSP Women's Basketball here on WPCN. at Berg Gymnasium. Take a look at our final score. Sports Bar Girls Scoreboard playing here before or after game get together at the final score at 2nd and Maria. It is 8-0. Pointers lead at 4:53 left to go in the opening quarter. And Principia scores there. I'll have to get you scored that in a minute as I missed as I was looking away. Here's Loftus with it over to Carissa Smith. Out to Hagen. Hagen to Rice at the foul line. Back to Carissa Smith driving. Pulls up inside the foul line. Leaves it short. Hagen with the rebound to Maya Rice. 10-footer in the lane. Up and in. 6 for Maya Rice. Trinity Matthews scored for Principia, and it is a 10-2 pointers lead at 4:16 left to go in the opening quarter. Here's Taylor Brown with it. Loses the basketball. Loftus on a breakaway. Will lay it up and nope, miss it. But Hagen with the rebound right side goes up and puts it in. First points for Hagen today. 12-2 pointers lead at 3:57 left to go in the opening quarter. Trinity Matthews with it. Into the hands of Santiago. Santiago with it. Falls at the foul line. Over to Brown, a long two. And she knocks that one down. Brown just inside the arc. Makes it 12 4-pointers. 3:39 left to go in the opening quarter. Here's Smith with it. Over to Loftus. Out high on the right. Now to Maya Rice. To Hagen at the foul line. Hagen one dribble. Back to Carissa Smith. Over to Loftus. Left of the circle. 3. Hits that one. And it's 15 4-pointers lead at 3:17 left to go in the opening quarter. Here's Genesis Santiago for the Panthers. Santiago, right of the lane, 10-footer, no, as that was off the rim, and then we're going to foul coming up on Principia. Foul coming up on Anna Myers, her first. That's the team's 4th. Checking in for the Pointers. It is Maddie Murphy, a 5'7" sophomore guard out of La Crosse, Wisconsin, to Aquinas. And 5'7" sophomore guard out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin with Oshkosh West, Brenna Gary for them. For Principia, 5'8" junior forward Aaron Porter out of St. Louis, Missouri. The Visitation Academy is where she went, checks in for the Panthers. All right, Truchon with it, a nice bounce pass to Gary, poked away, ball loose. And we're going to foul on Rachel Hagen against Porter. First, that'll be the team's 3rd in the quarter. Ernst back in for the Pointers. Alyssa White, the 5'4" junior guard out of St. Louis, Missouri. Cardinal Ritter College Prep is where she went. Also checked in at the last dead ball for the Panthers. Here's Terrell with it. Over to White. White with it right side against Hagen. White trying to spin, loses the ball, but into the hands of Porter. Porter right in the lane off the glass as that rolls off the rim, no. And Loftus down, up with it for the Pointers as she brings it up. Loftus over to Gary, left side. Gary to Hagen. Hagen driving into the lane to Ernst down low and left. Ernst back to Gary, over to Murphy. 3 left of the circle. She hits that one. 18-4, Pointers lead at 2:04 left to go here in the opening quarter. Pointers off to a hot start again here this afternoon. Myers with it right side. Kilpatrick's going to check in at the next dead ball. Pass almost tipped away, does get to Porter. Porter long 2, it's an air ball. Hagen lets it go out of bounds. And back to the Pointers as Kilpatrick will check in for Stevens Point, and Rachel Hagen will have a seat. So Loftus with it. Gets it over to Gary on the left. Gary with it. Over to Murphy. Murphy dribbling right. Murphy back to Gary left side. Out midcourt to Loftus. Loftus with it. Over to Gary right side. 10 left to go on the shot clock. Gary with it. Gary down the middle of the lane. Lays it up and in. 20-4, Pointers lead it. 1:20 left to go here in the first quarter. As Terrell will bring it up for the Panthers. Gets it over to Myers. Myers with it. Back to Terrell. Into the hands of Porter. Porter with it. Spinning at the foul line. Puts up a tough shot in the lane. Gets that one to go. Boy, Porter muscled that 10-footer up and in. as a Pointer had their hand all over it. And then we're going to get a foul in the backcourt coming up on Principia. Foul's going to come up on Terrell, her first. 5'8" sophomore forward Kylie Huber out of Mount Washington, Kentucky, went to Bullitt East. And she will check in for Principia, so that's a foul. That's going to be on Terrell, her first, team's 5th. And so 2 at the foul line for Kilpatrick, who was too hard on the first one. She'll get 1 more. She is a 70% foul shooter on the year. Second one from Kilpatrick, and gets a lot of the rim and rolls in. Her first points of the afternoon. It's 21-6. Pointers lead it. 54 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. Here's Terrell with it. Over to Matthews. Matthews to Myers. Back over to Terrell out high on the right. Into the hands of Trinity Matthews. Driving left side off the glass and in. She's got 4. It's 21-8. Pointers lead it. 33 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. About a 6-second differential between the shot and game clock, and Ernst is going to get caught for a moving screen as she clocked Myers pretty good. That's going to be Jesselin's first. That'll be the team's 4th here in the quarter. Trinity Matthews to inbound, gets it into Terrell. Terrell over to Huber. Huber with it. Hands it off to Myers. In the lane, tough shot up there by Alyssa White, leaves it short, and the Pointers up with the rebound. Loftus with it as they can hold for the last shot. 8 seconds left to go in the quarter. Loftus looking for some help. Loftus still with the basketball with 3. Loftus pulls up on the baseline right side, gets fouled, and should be at the line shooting 2 with 1.1 seconds left. Terrell's going to pick it up. That's now her second. And Principia over the limit here. So Loftus at the line for 2. First one is up and good. That gives her 4. 1 more for Ava Loftus. Makes them both 23-8. Pointers lead it. 1.1 seconds left. They get it into Terrell. And here this afternoon with the score, UW Stevens Point 23 and Principia 8. Tell you what we'll do right now. We will take a 1-minute timeout. We come back at the start of the second quarter. You're listening to UWSP Women's Basketball here on WPCN. At University of Wisconsin Stevens Point 23-8. Pointers lead it. Get ready to start second quarter. Andrew Borchert back in our WPCN studios, keeping us on the air today. All right, Pointers lead it here 20. They are shooting 60% from the field, 66% from behind the arc, and 60% at the foul line. 26% for Principia. Principia, yeah. Haven't made a 3 or attempted a free throw yet. Pointers with a basketball. Panich. That's it for the Pointers. Panich. Still dribbling. Looks like a little zone here by Principia. Hands it off to Maya Rice. Maya Rice with it. Rice has it poked away. Ball still loose up there, and the Panthers with it. Here's Ariana Williams with it for the Panthers. Into the hands of Terrell. Now over to Williams, right side. Williams. And a lob pass intended for Brown. Too far over her head, out of bounds. Aspira's Health, a passion for excellence, compassion for people. That is Aspira's Health. At Partners Pub and Grill at Stevens Point is your pre-gaming headquarters since 1977. Taste of tradition, Stanley Street in Stevens Point. Panich with it. Over to Rice, right side. Rice driving. Rice puts it up, gets bumped, no foul. And Principia up with it. And here come the Panthers. Here's Williams with it, right side. Williams picks up her dribble, has Kilpatrick on her. They get it over to Myers for a 3 left side. That's short off the front rim. And Kilpatrick up with for the Pointers, who lead 23-8. 9 minutes left to go, second quarter. Carissa Smith with it, back to Kilpatrick. Left wing 3 on the way. That's going to be short. And Taylor Brown down with the rebound for the Panthers. Into the hands of Myers. Myers gets it to Terrell. Terrell swings it over to Williams on the right side. Ariana Williams with it. Has Kilpatrick on her. Starts to dribble. Ariana Williams, a bounce pass to Trinity Matthews at the foul line. Matthews trying to make a move there, can't, and will get a 3-second violation against the Panthers. Checking in for the Panthers is Genesis Santiago. All right, Pointers lead at 23-8. 8.5 left to go here in the second quarter. Here's Panich with it. Panich hands it off to Smith into the hands of Rice. Rice with it. Rice on the baseline. Back to Panich. Goes up, shot block. Ball tipped around into the hands of Hannah Myers. Up ahead to Santiago. Santiago with it. Gets it over to Williams. Here's Williams with it. Bag over to Santiago left side. Santiago with Rice on her. Into the hands of Myers. We got a foul coming up on the Pointers. Foul will come up on Carissa Smith. That's her team's first here in the quarter. Lamaya Terrell will check back in for the Panthers. And having a seat will be Hannah Myers. Brown's going to inbound opposite sideline in the front court. And she gets it into Terrell. Terrell with it. Over to Santiago. Now to Williams. Williams with it. Picks up her dribble. Gets it to a cutting Santiago, who has her shot blocked. Smith with it. Up ahead to Rice. Rice with it. Rice. Inside the foul line. Turnaround jumper up and in. Maya Rice with 8. 25-8 Pointers lead at 7:35 left to go in the second quarter. Terrell over to Matthews. Matthews with it, picks up her dribble at the left elbow. Hits it to Santiago, whose pass goes out of bounds, and they'll say the Pointers touched it. Trying to hit Terrell there in the right corner. Pointers got a hand on it. Taylor Brown to inbound, baseline right. It's it into Matthews. Now over to Terrell, down low to Trinity Matthews. Turnaround shot with the left hand. Too strong as that one popped out, and the Pointers up with a rebound. Panich will bring it up for Stevens Point. Here's Panich with it. Panich, right of the circle 3, off the rim, and down with the rebound is Ariana Williams for the Panthers. Into the hands of Terrell. Terrell up ahead to Matthews. Matthews with it. Has it poked away by Truchon. And Panich with it for the Pointers. Panich up ahead to Truchon. Back to Rice, who's trailing. Rice on the baseline. Oh, shot fakes everyone, and Maya Rice had a wide open shot in close, and she has 10 this afternoon. As it is 27-8, Pointers lead it here. With 6:25 left to go, Pointers force a turnover. Here comes Kilpatrick with it, right side, lays it up too strong. Panich with the rebound, and we're going to get a foul coming up on Principia or a jump ball. We're going to get a foul, and that's coming up on Santiago, her first. All right, Truchon with it, over to Smith, now to Panich. To Kilpatrick, right side. Kilpatrick Kicks it out to Smith on the perimeter. Smith with it. Starts to dribble. Hands it back to Rice. In the corner to Kilpatrick. Driving baseline left. Pulling up. Little 5-footer no. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Pointers. And back to the Panthers. Ava Loftus back in there for UW Stevens Point. All right, Terrell with it. Puts it over to Williams. Williams with it, down on the left, puts it up with the left hand, leaves it short, gets her own miss, goes up again, misses it, gets a rebound again, and now she'll circle back around here as Trushan trying to tie her up, does. And alternating possession keeps it with the Panthers of Principia. Ernst back in for the Pointers as Trushan will have a seat. Hannah Myers back in for the Panthers. And they get it into Aaron Porter, who just checked in. Porter with it. Into Terrell. Over to White. White with it. White right of the lane, leaves it short. And the Pointers back up with it. Here's Kilpatrick with it. As it is 27-8. Pointers lead it. 5:20 left to go in the first half. Here's Loftus with it. Loftus gets it over to Smith. Left of the circle. 3 in and out. Ball loose. Porter picks it up for Principia. Into the hands of Santiago. Here's Santiago with it. Santiago against Rice. Santiago on the drive. Draws a foul. And that'll come up on Maya Rice. That's going to be her second here in the quarter. As Brenna Gary's going to check back in for the Pointers. All right, so Santiago's going to be at the line shooting a pair here. First one is up and good. Santiago at 52% on the year from the foul line. Second one, too strong. Kilpatrick down with a rebound. 27-9, Pointers lead it. 4:55 left to go second quarter. Gary with it. Gary down low on the right. Gary underneath the basket. Looking for some help. Gets it to Loftus right corner. Back to Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick kicks it out for a 3 by Smith. And what do we got? 3 seconds. And that will bring us to our media timeout here in the second quarter with the Pointers leading it 27-9, 4:45 left to go second quarter. Take a 60-second timeout, come back with more after this as you're listening to UWSP Women's Basketball here on WPCN. It's Shirley Egner, Courtless, taking Sports Bar and Grill scoreboard. The Pointers' favorite sports bar and grill, taking your favorite games with amazing food and drinks. 27-9, Pointers lead it with 4:45 left to go in the second quarter here, as the Pointers have led since the tip of this one. All right, the Panthers with the basketball. Principia with it. Here is Terrell with it, and bounce pass stolen away by Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick in 1-on-2 on the way back. A little shot fake up and in on the layup. That is 3 for Kilpatrick, 29-9. Pointers lead it, 4:25 left to go second quarter. Here's Terrell with it for Principia. Over to Santiago. Santiago hits it to Myers. Myers In the right corner to White. White with Ernst on her and a traveling violation on White. All right, Kilpatrick gets it into Loftus. 29-9 Pointers lead at 4:06 left to go in the second quarter. Over to Gary right side. Gary, another big screen set by Ernst. Now Loftus with it. Loftus, and she gets fouled by Santiago. That's going to be her second. That's the team's second here in the second quarter. Kilpatrick to inbound, gets it into Loftus. Loftus with it out near midcourt. There's Loftus. Loftus picks up her dribble. Over to Kilpatrick. Now to Smith left side. Smith, 10 left to go on the shot clock. Loftus right side. Loftus. 5 left to go on the shot clock. To Kilpatrick at the foul line. Kilpatrick, turnaround shot inside the foul line. Hits it. Nice turnaround there by Emma Kilpatrick, who has 5:31-9 Pointers lead it. 3:26 left to go in the opening half. Down to Porter. Porter hook shot in the lane. Off the glass and rim. And down with the rebound comes Ernst into the hands of Carissa Smith. Smith with it for the Pointers. Smith hands it to Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick down low to Ernst, left side, off the glass, up and in. It's 4 for Ernst. 35-9 Pointers lead at 3:03 left to go in the second quarter. Here's Terrell with it. Over to White. And the Panthers turn it over again. Here's Carissa Smith with it into the front court. Smith. Smith, right side, goes up, gets fouled by Porter. That's going to be her first, team's third. That'll send Carissa Smith to make a free throw this year to the foul line. Brown, Matthews, Williams back in for Principia. Hagen back in for the Pointers. So Carissa Smith at the line, shooting 2 here. First one is up and good, so that gives her 3 this afternoon. Auto Select, quality, dependable auto repair and service provided by quality technicians you can trust. That is Auto Select. Second one is good by as Maddie Murphy will check in for the Pointers here. Terrell will bring it up for the Panthers to go right to left here in the first half. Over to Williams out high on the right. Down low. That is Brown with it. Brown puts up a tough shot against Hagen. As that one was no good. Hagen with the rebound gets fouled. Foul coming up on Terrell. That's going to be 3 on her now, and that's going to be 4 on the team. Santiago is going to have to check back in for Principia. 35-9 Pointers lead at 2:32 left to go here in the first half. Loftus with it over to Hagen, now to Murphy left wing. Murphy back to Kate Vandenberg, who just checked in out of Appleton, Wisconsin, played her ball at Appleton North. Jumper in the lane, no. Ernst with a rebound up and in, down low on the right. 6 for Ernst, and it's a 37-9 Pointer lead here with 2:02 left to go in the second quarter. On the drive, going up, missing a shot was Williams, which will be at the line shooting 2. All right, check it in for the Pointers. It's going to be Panich along with 6-foot sophomore forward out of Cottage Grove, Wisconsin, played her ball at Monona Grove, Aubrey Smith. Foul comes up on Kate Vandenberg. That's going to be her first. That'll be the team's third here in the second quarter. And Williams at the line for 2 for the Panthers. First one is up, on the way, and good. As she will get one more. It's 37-10. Pointers lead it. Second one is good as well. So 37-11. Pointers lead it. 1:56 left to go before halftime. As Hagen with it over to Vandenberg, left side to Murphy, left of the circle, 3, short. Hagen with the rebound, flying in, gets it to Panich. Now back to Murphy, left corner Vandenberg. Vandenberg back to Aubrey Smith. Ball stolen away by the Panthers of Principia. Here they come. Here's Ariana Williams with it the other way. Ariana Williams. And the Pointers turn them over as Hagen with it as it was poked away by Panich. Panich with it. Panich spinning. Stops in the lane. Back to Vandenberg. Over to Murphy. Open three left of the circle. Too strong. And Principia down with the rebound. We're going to get a foul. Is down on the ground is Ariana Williams. Foul will come up on Panich. Her second. Brenna Gary's going to check back in for the Pointers. Coming up at the half, we'll have Scott's interview with Luke Venet that he did, Pointer head football coach Luke Venet, as they finish the season with 4 wins. We'll get his thoughts on the 2025 season to look ahead to 2026 that's coming up in roughly a minute 15 seconds. Santiago with it, and they turn it over as their pass too hot to handle for 5'8" sophomore guard Brianna Baldridge. Baldridge, a 5'7" sophomore guard out of Columbia, Illinois, and went to Giebolt Catholic. All right, Gary will bring it up for the Pointers. Gary with it into the front court. 37-11, Pointers lead it, a minute left to go, first half. Maddie Murphy has it poked away, goes out of bounds, and will stay with the Pointers. All right, Gary with it to Vandenberg. Vandenberg and Santiago down. Gary's going to take an open three right side, knock it down. But Santiago went down and she's injured. So the Pointers training staff will take a look at her. We will keep it here. And remind you that Aspirus Health is a proud sponsor of all our area teams. When you need access to healthcare, navigating the care options available can ensure timely treatment and reduce wait times whenever possible. Start with your primary care provider or consider a virtual visit. For worsening symptoms, Aspirus offers urgent care and, if necessary, emergency care for serious life-threatening conditions. Better begins with Aspirus Health. Find out at aspirushealth.org. All right, so Santiago down. As she went to the ground immediately. I don't know if a screen was set, but it left Gary open as they're looking at her left ankle and left foot, and Santiago is down, so the Pointer training staff is looking at her. 40-11, Pointers lead it here. Let's take a look what went on in the WIAC yesterday. Pointer hockey team lost, so they split this weekend. A win at home against River Falls and a loss on the road in Superior last night. And now I believe they'll be off for a couple of weeks before they get back after it. Stout beat Washington St. Louis as Santiago is going to get helped off the course in the Isthmus Bowl, 31-23. In men's basketball, Calvin beat Stout 81-66. Eau Claire over Simpson 87-68. Oshkosh over Carroll 85-76. Pointers over Milliken 69-63 as they win their own pre-Thanksgiving tournament. Gustavus Adolphus beats Platteville 87-72. Lacrosse over Wheaton 70-66 as they won the Lee Fund Classic. All right, back in play here. Brown with it, gets it over to Williams. 40 seconds left to go in the opening half. Here's Myers with it left corner. Over to Trinity Matthews. Long two on the way, knocking that one down is Hannah Myers, her first points of the afternoon, and it's 40-13, Pointers lead it. 25 seconds left to go in the second quarter, and the Pointers can hold for the last shot as Gary has it out near midcourt. As we have 15 seconds left to go, Gary over to Vandenberg. Vandenberg driving right side, puts an off-balance shot off the glass, up and in. First points of the afternoon for her. 42-13, Pointers lead it. Here's a three before the horn. And we have reached the end of one half of play with the score UWSP 42 and the Principia Panthers 13. All right, tell you what we're going to do right now. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have Scott's interview with UWSP head football coach Luke Vinay do that all in 2 minutes. It was the UWSP women's basketball here on WPCN. Shirley Egner Court at Berg Gymnasium here on the campus of the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. 42-13 Pointers lead it here at the half. Let's take a look at the leading scores. First for the Pointers, Rice has got 10, Ernst with 6. 5 apiece for Kilpatrick, Gary, and Loftus. 4 for Carissa Smith, 3 for Murphy, 2 apiece for Hagen and Vandenberg. Pointers are shooting 51.5% from the field, 33% from behind the arc, and 71% from the foul line. They have 27 rebounds and 11 assists on 17 made baskets. For Principia, it is Matthews has 4. Williams, Myers, Brown, and Porter all with 2. Santiago with 1. Principia is shooting 20% from the field. They have not made a 3 yet. They're 3 of 4 from the line. That's good for 75%. They have 5 assists on 5 made baskets, and they have only 10 rebounds here this afternoon. Let's take a look at some of the women's scores from yesterday. Oshkosh beat Wheaton 84-59. River Falls 60, Minnesota Morris 52. The crossover Luther 83-60, and Eau Claire defeats Simpson 87-75. This game is a standalone game in the conference here this afternoon. All right, tell you what we'll do right now. We will take one final time out before the start of the second half. We will come back in 90 seconds as you are listening to UWSP women's basketball here on WPCN. All right, Mapatano back out here at Shirley Egner Court, Berg Gymnasium on the campus of UW-Stevens Point. Take a look at our Sports Bar Grill scoreboard. Watch your favorite teams while you enjoy the daily food and drink special at the final score at second and Maria. As we get ready to start the third quarter, it's UW-Stevens Point 42 and Principia 13 here. All right, so the Pointers will be going right to left here in the second half. They will have the ball to start off. Maya Rice will inbound opposite sideline. It's going to be the starters of Panich, Rice, Kilpatrick, Smith, and Ernst. For Principia, it's Brown, Terrell, Williams, Myers, and Matthews. All right, second half underway. Here's Panich with it. Panich picks up her dribble, looking for somebody. Better hurry. Gets it to Ernst. And they try to get it back to Panich. She fell down. Kilpatrick is there, driving baseline left. Gets doubled. To Ernst, left of the lane, puts it up and in. Little 5-footer left of the lane for Ernst. She's got 8, and it's 44-13. Pointers lead it here. 9:25 left to go in the third quarter. Pointers looking to go to 4-0 here. Myers with it, and then they'll be off till December the 6th. Little circus shot by Williams in the lane, no, and Rice down with the rebound into the hands of Panich. 44-13, Pointers lead it, 9:04 left to go here, third quarter. Here's a three by Royce, left side, off the heel, and up with it is Principia. Here's Terrell with it. Terrell 1-on-3 the other way, lays it up and in. A tough play there as Terrell went on 1-on-3, but got in down low, put it off the glass, up and in, 44-15. Pointers lead it, 8:44 left to go, third quarter. Here's Rice with it left of the circle. Down low to Ernst on the left. Ernst, little up and under move, leaves it short, goes up again and gets fouled, and Ernst is going to be at the line. Shooting two here as Matthews is going to pick up the foul, her first. That's the team's first here in the quarter. Alyssa White will check in for the Panthers. Jesselyn Ernst, who is 0 of 1 for the foul line today, will be there for 2. First one from Ernst is up on the way and good. Gives her 9. She's looking to be the second pointer in double figures here. Leaves the second one short, so she'll be stuck at 9 points for the moment. As it's 45-15, Pointers lead at 8.5 left to go, third quarter. Here's Matthews with it. Matthews picks up her dribble. Over to Ariana Williams. Williams driving left side, lays it up and in. That's 4 for Williams. 45-17, Pointers lead it here. 8:10 left to go in the third quarter. And here's Panich with it. Panich, bounce pass down low to Ernst on the right, up and in. And now Ernst is the second pointer in double figures today with 11. And she's the leading scorer for the Pointers. 47-17, 7:53 left to go, third quarter. Matthews with it. Gets it to Myers. Myers right side goes up, and we got a foul. Comes up on Carissa Smith. That's going to be Carissa's second. Team's first here in the third quarter. Hannah Myers, a 50% foul shooter, will go to the line for the first time today. First one up and good. That gives her 3, and it's 47-18. She makes both 47-19 now. Pointers lead at 7:40 left to go, third quarter. Here's Panich with it into the hands of Rice. Rice with it. Rice at the foul line. Tries to hit Panich on a backdoor pass, and it hits a Panther, goes out of bounds, back to the Pointers. Cheese Pleasers, the freshest, best tasting cheese snack products produced in Bancroft. Cheese trays freshly made. That's Cheese Pleasers. Tongue twister there is Rice looking inbound and gets in Ernst. Out to Smith, right of the circle. Smith with it. Smith kicks it out to Panich. 10 left to go on the shot clock. Panich into the lane. Running hook shot. No. Ernst battling for the rebound. Jump ball. Alternating position. He'll give it back to Principia. And here's Terrell with it to Matthews. Matthews hands it off to White. White stumbles at the foul line. Pointers up with the basketball. Kilpatrick with it on the left side. Kilpatrick driving, eye off the glass, up and in. 7 for Kilpatrick, 49-19. Pointers lead it. 6:55 left to go, third quarter. Here's Terrell with it. Right side to White. White with it. One dribble from her over to Myers. Between the rings, Myers. Over to Terrell. Terrell with it. Back to White. White in the lane right side. Off balance shot. Misses everything. Ernst down with a rebound into the hands of Maya Rice. 49-19. Pointers lead it. 6.5 left to go, third quarter. Rice with it. Rice down the middle of the lane. Goes up. Shot blocked. Into the hands of Ernst. Goes back up. That one no good. Now they get it to Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick puts up a tough shot in the lane with the right hand. Falling away up and in. Kilpatrick with 9, 51-19. Pointers lead at 6:05 left to go here, third quarter. Down low to White. White right side puts it up, leaves it short. Matthews gets the rebound, digs it out of there. We'll get a foul coming up on UW Stevens Point. Coming up on Ernst, her first team foul in the third quarter. Porter and Brown will check back in for Principia. Trushan, Gary, and Loftus back in for the Pointers. Taylor Brown to inbound, gets it into White for the Panthers. Back to Brown. Brown with it at the foul line. Brown spinning, loses it, and loses control, and it gets called for traveling. Kilpatrick gets it into Loftus, 51-19. Pointers lead it, 5:47 left to go here in the third quarter. Loftus with it, Loftus to Gary. Gary to Smith. Smith with it. Smith pulls up left elbow, too strong off the heel. And the Panthers now with a rebound. Here's Terrell with it. Terrell. As the Panthers going left to right here in the second half, gets it over to Brown. Brown with it left side. Gary on her. Brown on the baseline. Out to Matthews, 3 left side. Boy, gets a lot of the rim, but doesn't drop down. Kilpatrick down with a rebound. Into the hands of Gary. Gary with it. Gary. Bounce pass to Trushan. Trushan. Left-handed shot in the lane. Blocked out of bounds. Hagen's going to check in for the Pointers, and we're going to get our first media timeout here in the second half with the score UW Stevens Point 51, Principia 19. Take a 1-minute timeout. Back with more after this as you'll see UWSP women's basketball here on WPCN.
374-046. Once again, 374-046 on a yellow color ticket. It's worth $139.
Did you say 374-406? Hey! At Sherlager Court, Stevens Point. Final score, Sports Bar and Grill scoreboard. You can score amazing food and drinks at Stevens Point's Perennial Sports Bar and Grill, and it's 51-19. Pointers lead it as we have 5 minutes left to go here in the third. Pointers outscoring Principia 9-6 here in this quarter, shooting 36% from the field, while Principia shooting 33%. And Principia is only playing with 4, so they're going to run Aaron Porter out there quick. Pointers basketball here. Gary will inbound baseline left underneath their own basket. Over to Smith. Out of Trushan to Hagen, right of the circle. Hagen, oops, air mails it right over Carissa Smith. Back to the Panthers, checking in for them will be Hannah Myers. All right, Taylor Brown brings it up for the Panthers. Got it to Porter. And then out of bounds, they try getting it to White. It'll go after off the Panthers. And back to the Pointers. Loftus brings it up. Over to Gary. Gary to Hagen, out of Loftus. Loftus with it. On the perimeter to Smith. Right side, Gary. Gary dribbles into the lane. Little step through. Too much on the layup. Back to Smith. 9 left to go on the shot clock. Over to Gary. Right corner 3 off the rim. Loftus with the rebound. Down low. Falls to the ground. Foul upcoming on the Panthers. Comes up on Alyssa White, her first. This is the third quarter. Terrell will check in for Principia. Loftus to inbound, gets it into. As it gets down low to Gary, tries getting it to Hagen. Sorry, Truchon had it there for a minute. Ball's loose on the ground, and what do we got here? A jump ball? Looks like it. Jump ball, so, oh, they're going to say out of bounds. And the Pointers keep the possession. Gary to inbound, baseline right to Smith. Now to Truchon, over to Hagen, left of the circle. Left wing to Loftus. Loftus with it, over to Smith. 5 left to go on the shot clock. Loftus with 3. Loftus left of the lane, puts it up, and hits it. About a 15-footer from Ava. She's got 7 today. 53-19, Pointers lead it. 3:40 left to go here in the third quarter. Here's Porter with it. Porter hits it over to Myers. Pass stolen away by Hagen. Hagen in a breakaway will lay it up and in. That is 4 for Hagen, and it is 55-19. Pointers lead it as it looks like a line change is coming in for the Pointers. Next dead ball. Here's Terrell with it for the Panthers. Has Gary on her. She gets it over to Huber. Back to Terrell. Terrell underneath the basket. Pass tipped, goes out of bounds. And back to the Pointers. Ernst, Kilpatrick, Panich, Murphy, and Rice in there for UW Stevens Point on that substitution. 55-19, Pointers lead at 3:02 left to go, third quarter. Brown to inbound, gets it into Terrell. Terrell with it, over to Myers, right corner. Myers down to Terrell. Pass in the lane to Porter. Porter double team, puts up a tough shot with 1 on the shot clock, high off the glass and in. As the shot clock was expiring. 55-21, Pointers lead it. 2:40 left to go here, third quarter. Here's Panich with it. Over to Murphy, now into the hands of Rice. Rice back to Panich in the right corner. Panich over to Rice, right wing. Rice, 10 left to go on the shot clock. Down low to Ernst, who's doubled on the right. Tough shot. And we'll get a foul coming up on Principia as they wanted to travel. Foul come up on Huber, her first. Fourth. Vandenberg and Kira Mackey, the 5'10 sophomore forward out of Escanaba, Michigan, checks in there for the Pointers. Ernst at the line, shooting 2. First one too strong, no good. Tricor Cares, dedicated to helping our clients, employees, and communities succeed with offices statewide, including Stevens Point, Marshfield, and Wisconsin Rapids. That is Tricor Insurance. Second one from Ernst is up and good. Gives her 12 as Aubrey Smith will check back in for the Pointers. And Ariana Williams back in there for the Panthers of Principia. 56-21, Pointers lead at 2:15 left to go, third quarter. Brown with it, and we got a foul coming up on the Pointers. That'll come up on Kate Vandenberg. That's going to be number 2 on Vandenberg. All right, Principia to inbound it. They get it into Williams. Hook shot in the lane with the left hand. Leaves it short. Mackey with the rebound, gets tied up. Alternated possession, gives it back to the Pointers here. All right, Mackey inbounds it and gets it into Panich. Panich over to Murphy. Out of Mackey, baseline left in the lane to Aubrey Smith. Off the glass, no, and Aubrey Smith will go to the line for two. As Aubrey Smith didn't see a lot of time last year, getting a little more this year. First one from Aubrey Smith is up and too strong, no good. Panich also, didn't mention this, but she pretty much went from scout team to starting point guard as well. Second one by Aubrey is up, and that one's in and out, no good. And it's into Myers. Myers up ahead to Terrell. Terrell, wild pass, poked around, still loose, picked up there by Myers. Over to Brown. Brown right side, high up the glass, no, right of the lane. And Brown got clocked, a little slow to get up. Foul comes up on Aubrey Smith. That's going to be her first. That'll be the team's fourth here in the third quarter. One more will put them over the limit. Taylor Brown will be at the line shooting two here. Pointers will be off all the way till December the 6th. So they get the rest. Well, actually, first one is up and good from Brown. They got Lakeland here Tuesday at 6, and then they're off until December the 6th. That'll be the next UWSP women's basketball game. Brown makes both of them. She's got 4. As that'll be a men's women's doubleheader. The men will play at 3 and the women will play at 5 in the quant. All right, Panich brings it up, 56-23. Pointers lead it, 90 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Here's Murphy with it. Murphy picks up her dribble, looking for someone. It's at the Vandenberg. Vandenberg left of the circle. Vandenberg dribbling right. Vandenberg on the drive, down the right side of the lane, off the glass, up and in. Vandenberg muscled that one up and in. She's got 4. It's 58-23. Pointers lead it, 1:09 left to go here in the third quarter. Coming the other way and rolling it off the rim was Williams. Ball goes out of bounds, last touch by the Pointers, and will stay with the Panthers. Brown back in there for Principia. Brenna Gary back in for the Pointers for Laney Panich. Brown gets it into Matthews. Matthews to Williams inside the foul line. Tough shot off the glass and rim. No. Gets her own miss, though, and taps it back to Myers. Myers hands it off to White. Back to Myers. Into the hands of Williams. Williams down low to Brown. Brown with it. Left of the lane. Off the glass. Too strong. And the ball still batted around down there. Aubrey Smith picks it up for the Pointers. Into the hands of Gary. Pointers lead at 58-23. 30 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Vandenberg with it. Vandenberg into the lane. Out of control. Traveling violation on Kate Vandenberg. All right, Brown will bring it up for the Panthers here. Brown, left side, lays it up and in. She's got 6. It's 58-25. Pointers lead it. 10 seconds left to go in the quarter. Gary with it for the Pointers. Gary with it, driving right side. Gary, shot fake, misses. Vandenberg with the rebound with 2, puts it up. No, and we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play with the score. UW Stevens Point 58, Principia 25. Back with the fourth quarter in 1 minute. You're listening to UWSP Women's Basketball here on WPCN. circulating the court. UWSP. We got Andrew Borchert back in our WPCN Division Street Studios, keeping us on the air this Sunday afternoon. Glad you could be with us. Packers beat the Giants, or Packers beat the Vikings, excuse me. Lions beat the Giants. And those two will play each other on Thanksgiving Day. A noon kickoff used to be 11:30, and they decided to move it back a half hour, I believe, this year. All right, Principia with the ball here to start the fourth quarter. Here's White with it. White into the hands of Myers. Myers a three, excuse me, that was Brown with a three left side. That was short pointers over the rebound. Here's Panich with it. Panich. Oop, her and Smith almost ran into each other. Panich picking up the dribble to Maya Rice. Rice with it left of the circle. Rice kicks it out to Kilpatrick. 10 left to go in the shot clock. Kilpatrick into the lane. Back to Smith. Smith, 5 left to go in the shot clock. Over to Rice, right corner. 2 on the way. She hits that one. Maya Rice with 12. And she has been a godsend for the Pointers since she came on board last year. Here's Myers with it. Over to White. White with it, driving right side, loses her bounce. Foul upcoming on the Pointers. That'll come up on Panich, her third quarter. Hagen, Truchon, Loftus, Gary, and Murphy all in there for the Pointers. That might do it for the starters this afternoon. All right, Principia getting the ball in here. Principia, excuse me. And they get it in. Down low on the left, up in and a foul for Ariana Williams. Rachel Hagen will pick it up, her second. That's the team's second here in the fourth quarter. Foul shot on the way, and Williams knocks that one down. That gives her 7. It's 60-28. Pointers lead at 8:47 left to go in the fourth quarter. Pass for Gary knocked away, but she picks it up out near midcourt. Gary with it. Gary with it right side. Good stop down the baseline. Back to Truchon. Down low to Hagen, right side off the glass. Gets the roll for Rachel Hagen, who's got 6. And boy, she looks like she is just picking up right where she left off in her freshman year. She was hampered by a knee injury last year. Only played in a handful of games. And she has 6 this afternoon. Williams with it. Over to Brown, right side. Brown back to Williams, left side 3 on the way. Short. Truchon down with the rebound into the hands of Loftus. Loftus up with it. Loftus running into the front court. Hits it over. Murphy, 3 left side. Hits it. Maddie Murphy, her second this afternoon. Gives her 6, and it's 65-28. Pointers lead it. Principia loses the ball, picks it back up. We'll get a timeout. Coming.
30 to media. 30 to media.
And we will take one with them as well, as that'll bring a 30 and a media with it. So we'll come back in a minute. 65-28, Pointers lead at 7:51 left to go, fourth quarter, as you are listening to UWSP Women's Basketball here on WPCN.
Dunkin' Donuts basketball, 617 Division Street. UWSP students and staff, you get 10% off when you show your university ID.
right, Matt Matano back out here. Take a look at our final score. Sports Bar and Grill scoreboard on the corner of 2nd Maria and Stevens Point. They have all your game day needs. They're stopped at the OT Tavern next door for a little something extra, as it is 65-28. Pointers lead it. We have 7:51 left to go in this one. Pointers looking like they'll move to 4-0 on the year. Principia will go to 3-2, and then they will head to Whitewater to take on the Warhawks Tuesday night before they head home for the holiday. Brown inbound baseline right underneath their own basket, and stolen away by Murphy on the inbounds pass into the hands of Loftus. As Loftus gets it over the timeline, back over to Murphy, left side. Murphy to Aubrey Smith, pass tip, but Smith picks it up mid-court. Here's Murphy with it. Murphy, left corner to Vandenberg, bounce pass to Truchon and Lane. Over to Loftus, 3 right corner, too strong. Truchon with the rebound, left side, up and in. Her first points of the afternoon. 67-28, Pointers lead it. 7:14 left to go. We're in the fourth. 3 on the way, no good from Brown as it was off the rim, but they keep the rebound. Here's Williams with it. Williams gets it over right side to Myers. 3 from her, too strong. And Loftus with the rebound for the Pointers. Loftus up with it over to Aubrey Smith. Smith on the drive. Smith goes in. What are we going to get? Block charge? What do we got here? We're going to get a blocking foul coming up on Ariana Williams. Her third, team's first, as Kira Mackey will check back in for the Pointers. Porter and Terrell in there for Principia. Vandenberg to inbound baseline right underneath their own basket. Gets it into Aubrey Smith, over to Murphy. Now over to Loftus. Loftus to Mackey. Down low to Smith. Smith in the lane. Back to Mackey. Left elbow jumper. Off the heel, no good. Smith with the rebound. Ooh, too much on that one. And Principia down with the rebound. Here's Myers with it. Up ahead to Porter. Porter, long 2 on the way. Short. Vandenberg lets it go out of bounds, and it will stay with, go back to the Pointers here. Vista Royale campsite, making memories one campsite at a time, as Brennan Gary will check back in. Stay tuned after the game for our Skyward Player of the Game. Skyward building school administration software to make life easier for educators and families, serving over 7 million students in 21 states. That's Skyward. All right, Gary will bring it up over the timeline. Gets it over to Vandenberg. Vandenberg with it right side. Vandenberg pulls up inside the arc and off the rim. Mackey battling for the rebound. It's still loose down there. We'll get a jump ball. And the Pointers. Trinity Matthews back in there for the Panthers. Vandenberg to inbound for the Pointers here. Baseline left. Underneath their own basket, 67-28, Pointers lead it. 6:05 left to go, fourth quarter. Murphy takes the pass over to Mackey, now to Gary right side. Gary, as that one was a little behind Aubrey Smith, it'll go out of bounds back to Principia. That is the 13th turnover on the Pointers this afternoon. All right, Terrell with it for the Panthers. Terrell over to Matthews. Matthews with it right side. Matthews against Aubrey Smith. Matthews on the drive. A running shot there on the baseline, up and in. Tough shot there by Matthews. Gets it to go. 6 points for her. 67-30. Pointers lead at 5:35 left to go in the fourth quarter. Here's Vandenberg with it. A lob pass down low to Mackey. Mackey double team down low. Mackey kicks it out to Aubrey Smith. Open 3 right side. Short. Ball batted around into the hands of Myers. Myers up ahead to Matthews. Matthews left side gets bumped by Smith. And that will send Trinity Matthews to the line for a pair. So Aubrey Smith's going to pick up the foul. It's going to be number 2 on her. Number 3 on the team here in the quarter. So Trinity Matthews at the line for the first time today. 60% foul shooter on the year. First one is up and good. That gives her 7 now. Second one is good. She scored the last 4 points for the Panthers, 67-32. Pointers lead it. Terrell came up, poked the ball out of bounds. All right, 5'10", a sophomore guard out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Played her ball at Beaver Dam is Annika Saletto. As she checks into the game. Saletto, excuse me. And what do we got? A foul coming up here on the Pointers. Play starting to get a little ragged here. Gary's going to pick up the fouls. Got poked into the backcourt. Her first. That looks like that'll be the team's fourth here in the fourth quarter, so one more for them. And the Panthers will be shooting the rest of the quarter here. As White to inbound it here. Gets it into Terrell. Terrell over to Matthews. Matthews to Porter. Porter on the baseline, cut off there, throws it away right into the hands of Vandenberg. Up to Gary. Gary with it, brings it into the front court. Out of Vandenberg, foul line jumper short. Mackey tries saving the rebound. And we're going to get our second media timeout here in the fourth quarter. So we will take it with them as well. 67-32 Pointers lead it. 4:38 left to go fourth quarter. Back in 60 seconds as you're listening to UWSP Women's Basketball here on WPCN. At Berg Gymnasium, Andrew Borchert back in our 92.1 WPCN studios, keeping us on the air here this afternoon. 67-32 Pointers lead at 4:38 left to go in this one. And the Pointers are going to move to 4-0 on the year with Lakeland on the horizon before Thanksgiving. As Williams with it for the Panthers. Williams bounce pass down low to Brown. Good move in the lane off the glass, up and in right side. 8 for her today. 67-34. Pointers lead it. 4:18 left to go in this one. Gary with it over to Vandenberg. Vandenberg in the lane. A little off balance, leaves the shot short, and the Panthers up with a rebound. As here's Terrell with it. Up ahead to Matthews. Down low on the left, turnaround. Shot with the left hand short. And Saletto down with the rebound for the Pointers. Into the hands of Gary. 67-34. Pointers lead it. 3:50 left to go, fourth quarter. Mackey with it. Over to Saletto. Ooh, nice. The Mackey cutting up and in. Kira Mackey, nice job cutting to the basket without the ball. 69-34, and now Coach Hockett's going to clear the bench here. Next dead ball. As Myers with it. Kicks it out to Williams. Williams driving left side, too strong. Aubrey Smith down with the rebound into the hands of Gary. Substitution. So we're going to see Brooke Botcher, a 6-foot sophomore forward out of Belvedere, Illinois. Went to Belvedere North. along with Egan Buralski, a 5'8 freshman guard out of De Pere, Wisconsin, went to De Pere. And Mia Racine, a 6-foot freshman forward out of De Pere, Wisconsin. She went to De Pere West. Here's Botcher with it, loses it down low to Racine on the right, up and in. Her first points of the afternoon. 71-34 as the Pointers have cleared the bench here. 2:46 left to go in this one. And it's been all Pointers as they've led from the opening tip. They're going to have a wire-to-wire job here this afternoon. Here's Williams with it. In the corner to Brown. Brown driving baseline left, kicks it right corner. 3 on the way by Myers. She knocks that one down. That's 7 for her, and it's 71-37. Pointers lead it. 2:20 left to go in this one. Gary with it. Puts it over to Botcher. Botcher with it out high on the right. Now to Buralski. Buralski with it. Or Buralski, excuse me. Ball goes out of bounds. Back to the Panthers here. All right, Panther ball here, 71-37 as we just play it down the stretch here. Taylor Brown with it for the Panthers. Go over to White. White with it. Into the hands of Myers. 3 on the way, straight on. She connects there. Boy, Myers with the last 6. A couple of long-range bombs from her. It gives her 10. 71-40. Pointers lead at 1:46 left to go in this one. Here's Gary with it. We got a foul coming up on the Panthers. Coming up on Hannah Myers. Her second, team second. Matthews, the 5'6 sophomore guard out of St. Peters, Missouri. Went to Francis Howell Central. Will check into the ball game for the Panthers. Borelski's going to inbound for the Pointers in front of her own bench. Gets it into Gary. Here's Gary with it. Gets it over to Botcher. Botcher with it, left of the circle. Over to Borelski. Out of Solidal. Now here's a 3 by Borelski, left corner. No. Racine down with the rebound. Kicks it out to Gary. Gary with it to Botcher. Baseline jumper too strong. Racine with the weak side rebound. Out to Gary. Over to Borelski again, left wing. Back to Gary, left of the circle. Gary just distributed, trying to give everybody else points. Here's a 3 on the way from Brooke. Too strong. Borelski down with the rebound. Pointers having multiple opportunities. Here's Solitel with it. Down low to Racine, knocked out of bounds, will stay with the Pointers. So the Pointers on like their 5th or 6th crack here on this possession. And Gary just trying to get anybody to get a point here. Gary inbounds it to Racine. Over to Betcher. Betcher with it. Right of the lane, all rolls off the rim, and down with the rebound is Alyssa White for the Panthers. 71-40, Pointers lead at 45 seconds left to go in this one. Here's here's Taylor Brown with it to Matthews. We're going to get a foul coming up on Mia Racine. All right, that'll put the Pointers over the limit, so Trinity Matthews back to the foul line for 2 here. Post game coming up after this one. Going to final look at the stats as Matthews' first one is up and good. She now has 9. Looking to be the second Panther in double figures if she can knock down this free throw. She does. Got 10 along with Myers, and the Pointers can pretty much almost run this clock out as they lead 71-42. Borelski with it. Borelski on the drive off the glass, up and in. So Borelski makes it 73-42 Pointers. 23 seconds left to go in this one. Here's Brown with it. Brown in the lane, off-bounds shot off the rim, and down with the rebound is Solitel, who gets tied up. And alternating possession will keep with the Panthers, so they'll have one more crack here with 17 seconds left. As they get it into White. Now to Brown left corner, driving baseline left as she steps on the baseline. And the Pointers can just dribble it out here with 12.9 seconds left, and they will go to 4-0 on the year. As the Pointers dribbling it out. Here's Borowski with 4. Betcher will put a shot up, no good. The Pointers winning by a final score of 73-42. So the Pointers go to 4-0 this year. And they will play Lakeland on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. Tell you what we'll do right now, take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll have the post-game show for you. Take a look at the final stats. Hopefully an interview with head coach Matt Hockett. Do that all in 2 minutes. You'll see UWSP women's basketball here on WPCN.